Yeah, absolutely. It's like a journey back to self ultimately, which is
Yes.
just, I mean, I really feel like this earth, this earth school, whatever you want to call it, is a process of just transformation, but we just do it in such a hard, like polarized way that it hurts that much. And you have to kind of do it incrementally a little bit. Like you can't get all of the wounds and all the beliefs that you get, fed in childhood and then just let them all go. You know what I mean? Just step out at 18 or whatever and just be like, oh, I guess I'm just like allowed to be me now. Like it just doesn't work like that. You have to really integrate it piece by piece.
Emotionally unavailable. All right. Do you have anything specific you want to talk about?
No clue. No clue. Lead the way. Two
Yeah,
generators.
I have nothing. Okay, let me think. Well, since we took such a journey last time, I don't know that we talked specific about shadow work. Like, I don't know that
Mm,
we got really into how to do it. Maybe do you I mean, you said you just kinda hear where people have some blind spots, but is there, like, a theme? Like, do you use because whenever I create workbooks, I use whatever, like, major astrology is happening to create shadow work prompts, but, like,
interesting.
I don't like, how do you do it?
I never work off of prompts. I always work off of triggers. So if I have a trigger, I'm like, okay, there's a backstory. You know what I mean? So if I'm feeling anything, if I'm feeling any resistance, if I'm feeling any reactivity, whatever it is, I go into the feeling and I'm like, what does this remind me of? Like, what pattern is this from my childhood? And then I track it back, and all of the emotion that I'm having for the here and now thing, I throw it into that childhood memory and I express all of it, like, as much as I possibly can, and 9 times out of 10, it clears the whole thing out, and the other 1 time out of 10, it takes, like, a layer off of something that's just really, really big,
But how
and,
does that
that's pretty much it.
translate for working with others? Like, how do you have somebody else do it?
When someone comes to me, it's usually like, I'm having this problem, or I have this bodily thing going on, or uh, I'm, struggling with this circumstance in my outer life. And I just have them kind of tell me about it. And there'll be things that people say that my pattern recognition or whatever it is inside of me just keys onto. And I kind of just probe into that. I have a couple of projected channels in my human design chart, and I feel like that might be part of it. Like I feel like I'm genuinely like projecting into them, and kind of getting deeper and deeper. But there's also like patterns. It's
No,
tough to
that makes
describe
sense to
because
me
it's like,
because, like, I remember, a male client I had, um, was finally fucking not being resistant to whenever I would be like, well, because the thing is he had so many avoidant tendencies, but very stern in his response. He did not, it would trigger him anytime I'd be like, well, you do that because you are trying to avoid being rejected by the thing before
mm,
you can even be rejected. You just give up so that you don't and he's like, no, we're I mean, really just like a response that I wasn't comfortable with. I mean, to be honest. And so I
mm,
because of my own shit would be like, all right. I mean, also I'm your therapist, so like if you don't fucking want to go into it, we're not gonna go into it. But this day in particular, it was amazing because he was talking about an experience, and I don't remember what made me ask, but I said, okay, so when can you remember that feeling of like really embarrassed, really unsupported by your parents.
Mm.
And he unlocked a memory that he hadn't thought of. He was a 23-year-old guy and hadn't thought of this memory since this happened when he was like 11. And he told me about a camp that his parents forced him to attend, and he wasn't really into athletics the way the other boys were, but the camp really just kind of like you had to pick a sport at the camp, and he was forced to play basketball, and at the end of the camp, they did a game for all the parents to watch, and he just, like, fucking made an ass out of himself. And just
Mhm.
humiliation that he felt and the disappointment from his parents and just like, "You shouldn't have put me in this situation to begin with." So there's the betrayal, there's the neglect, all of that. I mean, just totally unlocked. So it sounds like it's a very similar process. I just work with, like, very specific wounding, and so whenever I hear something that sounds like that wound, I'd be interested to look back at my human design. I'd like to see where we're similar and where we're different in our human design, but because it would be
Mhm.
very funny to me if you were one of those links that I'm missing, you know what I mean?
Ooh. Yep,
Because 'Cause I'm supposed to
absolutely.
look for those motherfuckers in my life, and I don't know my chart well enough. Like, I have a pretty good understanding of me and the way it's been explained to me, but, like, I couldn't explain any of it to anyone else, so I certainly don't remember which. There's, like, the Eden's Cross or some shit. There's, like, several different things, but I don't remember any of the terms. I remember the parts that, like, resonated so much, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's so many channels in a human or gates rather in a human design
Yes.
chart. It's like how could you possibly memorize all of your own unless you were really studying it?
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's practically memorized their entire astrology chart. Like it's human design's a whole other beast.
Yes, exactly. I work off my astrology so much that I'm like, there's a lot of numbers to remember with human design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many
Yeah, too many
numbers.
numbers.
I'm like, I don't know. Gemini sun, Leo moon, easy to remember. Like, that's so easy. But,
Yeah.
like, so you're gate 32, and then you need to find this gate because that's where you're missing. I do know I'm a sacral
Yeah.
authority. I do know that. That's
Well, I feel um like someone told me recently and they're like they do human design readings professionally that you kind of just feel it. Like you just feel the click with someone. There'll be something in it, which I feel like you could attribute to like soul resonance and all kinds of stuff as well. But it's that. You just feel the click and then something in your charts will line up.
yeah. And I haven't, because most of the people that I know don't know theirs a whole lot better than I do. I haven't, like,
Mm,
come to that yet, but there have been several people. I mean, you are one of them where I met and it was just like instant, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
connection. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when you're really intuitive, that's easy to happen. But it's also, I don't get a lot of the opposite, but I have had it where there's an immediate, like, "Bleh," you know, I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to you. Which kind
Mhm.
of sucks because, like, I don't do pre interviews. So when someone comes up that I'm like, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's such a struggle to get through the conversation.
I feel like if I had a podcast like yours where I took a different guest every week, I would probably just delete the ones that I didn't like vibe with if I didn't feel like it was a good podcast that I would want to listen to. Like even with my last podcast, some of the episodes I'd be like, "Nah, this was awful. We need to record
Really?
something different." And yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've kind of gone on a little journey with that, actually. It's funny that you say that because whenever I first started getting like guests that I wasn't begging from my personal life, because I actually put out 3 a week. So I was begging
Mm,
a lot and got quite a few rejections from people I knew. And I was like, well, fuck you. Anyway, that was the whole thing.
yeah.
So one day, I posted on Threads for the first time and I got like 85 people signed up just from one post. And then so I was
Wow.
getting all my guests from Threads for a bit. Um, but because I had put it out to the universe, like, send me the people meant for me, I was like, even if I wasn't vibing, I was like, but I guess they're meant for me because they were sent for me. So at first I could not air something. I just couldn't. And then when I switched to Podmatch, honestly, me getting my first rejection was so helpful because then, like, I started being like, "You can do that too." Like, you can just hit pass and move
Mm,
on with your life. And after that and having a couple of bad experiences, I was like, "Yeah, it's okay to hit pass." And that is part of, like, how I'm growing also is to not worry about somebody else's feelings in that moment because I really do.
yes.
Like, I'm over personalizing the entire thing when, like, once I saw, like, it doesn't hurt me whenever I see that they passed, like, I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then I just archive the message and move on. Then I was like, "You can do that too." So it has been a journey. I did, right before this, remove the episode that I was telling you about the last time we talked from the
Oh,
people
yeah.
who were mean to me, but, I was like, nope, definitely not airing it." And so I do think I would from now on probably just be like, "Nah," but the reason I didn't with a couple of them is because I was not prepared to answer the question honestly if they were to come to me and say, "Why did you not air it?" And I don't want to be a liar and I want to be authentic. So it would be important to me to tell the truth. So I just avoided it by fucking posting the episode. Yes, that's the truth.
But isn't that technically not authentic if you didn't actually wanna post?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. But it
Yeah,
also avoided a confrontation.
fair enough.
So
Yeah, no, I get it. I haven't
no,
liked
I
confrontation
I
historically
understand that,
either.
like, I shouldn't have, honestly, I shouldn't have, and it's funny because the ones that I've aired, even though I didn't vibe with them, the feedback is like that they didn't like them either, and I'm like, "Damn it, I shouldn't have even
Mhm.
bothered," like, like,
Yeah.
they didn't like the
Yeah,
people,
absolutely.
and so I'm
I feel
learning,
like you have to
as I
curate.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to curate for your audience. Like, if I recorded anything and I just didn't have a good vibe about it, I was like, "I don't enjoy listening to this. Why would anyone else enjoy listening to it?" Like, if it doesn't feel oomph, generate a
Yeah,
satisfaction.
um, I think I might have trouble gauging that, honestly,
Ooh.
because, well, it's really easy for me to criticize anything that I do,
Mhm.
like, if I'm not careful, and so I think I just figure if they don't like that one, they'll skip that one, you know what I mean? Like, because
Fair enough.
I don't know, I just yeah, I don't even think I necessarily realized that I'm not a very good judge about. Because there are times that I'm like, "Holy shit, man, that's gonna be," and then I don't get
Banger.
that. There are times certainly that I'm like, "Oh my god, I just loved every ounce of that," and that's the feedback I get too, is like, "This was my favorite,"
Mm.
but there's also times that, it didn't hit, and I'm like, "What the fuck, y'all motherfuckers? That was a good one."
I guess I don't know. Depends on the subject matter maybe.
Probably, yeah. The times that I don't like the person is when they are, like, when we don't vibe, it's because they're not going below the surface, and
Mm.
you can tell that they would prefer to come into a more scripted environment, and
Yep.
that I'm just asking the same questions they're always asked, and I don't do that. I don't ask the same questions that are always asked, so,
God, no. We need
it's
so
I'm
much
just
less of that.
uncomfortable, so
Yeah.
then it's not.
Yes. And yet the podcast is about emotional availability?
And that's when I get pissed. That's when I get pissed.
Mm.
This is exactly why I am preaching to therapists that we have to do better, that we have to continue working on ourselves if we want to make an impact, because it's the therapist of the world that I come across that shit with, that I'm
Yeah.
like, but I, this is what you're telling people
Yeah.
legitimately.
No authenticity,
Yeah,
no
and it's very
vulnerability.
obvious that they're coming from, like, textbook knowledge or a professional
Mhm.
development, like, yeah, this is a tool, and it's like they know how to give a tool, they don't know how to use the tool. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's what I'm seeing
you
so much of.
you could get me started on this.
Let's talk
It's
about
kind
it,
of the same
shit.
thing we were talking about last time, is like, you need to have the embodied knowledge. You can't just keep passing on stuff with the intellectual layer only. You have to have, like, integrated it into your whole psyche, your whole being. That's when you talk and people can hear the resonance in your voice. Like, I could say exactly how I see shadow work, all the keys that I have. The person could say exactly the same words, like someone else could say the same words. I could
Mhm.
write it all out for them. They'll read it. People will get stuff unlocked from my voice. No one will unlock anything from someone reading my script. Like it's a
Right.
vibrational thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, and, I don't know that we could explain that to people who aren't at least the very smallest amount into the woo. Though, if you're into
Mm,
quantum physics, it's there too, but, like, you are very right about that, and it is the vibration. It reminds me, I have to tell you this because I was just thinking of this person this morning, and then now here I am, like, about to speak about her, so I'm like, "Oh, I need to check on her." But so my friend Natasha, she has a company called the March Music Collective where she tries to get people to understand, like, music is life. Like, and all things can be music, and there's this very spiritual connection and blah, blah, blah. But I met her through my show, and whenever I met her, she taught me the term timbre, and that it is your own unique voice signature that you bring to whatever you are saying, singing, whatever. And for
mm,
whatever reason, I really needed that whenever, like, that day, like, the way I integrated that really was very impactful to me. And that is what we're giving, is when you integrate this information because you've done it on yourself, because 'cause you've used
yes.
every one of these tools, like, they're withered down because you use them so much. You're not then just handing something off, like, all of your vibrational magic is there when you're talking about it because 'cause you're speaking with authority, with passion, and with love. And
Mhm.
that's what
Absolutely.
gets people to where they need to go. You can't just sit there and be like, "Uh-huh, and how did that make you feel?"
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If it's hollow, if it's empty, like I think they've actually done studies truly on what makes the best therapy sessions, and it's when the therapist's heartbeat and the client's heartbeat sync up. It's like the therapist syncs to the client. Like that's a vibrational thing. That's an electromagnetic thing. You like if it's just this hollow intellectual hoop jumping things, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It's just a waste of time.
Well, and do you know how many people, I mean, I know that you know, but, like, how many people are exiting therapy and saying, "But my therapist just said, like, sounds like you know what you need to do. Sounds like you know better. Sounds like you know." And and these are the people who have spent hours and hours and years and money and money and money buying self-help books, going to see, people live to try to get the help they need, but they're still intellectualizing everything that they experience. They haven't been taught to feel. And that is
Yes.
what I'm seeing in the mental health field also, is that these people are perpetuating, and that's why they don't see it. When this person who comes in seemingly with all the answers, I could have told you a lot and you would have called me self-aware, but there was so much
Mm.
shit I didn't see about myself. I was dead fucking wrong about pretty much everything I knew to be true about myself. Dead
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah.
And it almost killed me,
Mm.
you know? So, like, this is what we're
Absolutely.
perpetuating when we go, "Oh, well, you are very self-aware. Fucking quit telling these good girls that they're doing a good job. Like, quit it. Quit placating them. Help them. Help
Mhm.
them." But you can't
Yeah.
because you're not seeing it yourself. You don't see it in you.
Mhm. Yes, and like this is what I was talking about, and that reel that I posted after our last conversation is like you have to have navigated your own mind, your own psyche, your own labyrinth, which is the subconscious, right? The emotional layer, in order to be able to guide anyone through theirs. Otherwise, you're just like two blind rats in a maze, just running in circles, truly.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you a funny antidote.
Mm.
So, I hope you'll appreciate this as a Virgo moon. So you remember the last time we talked, I told you I have a client whose boyfriend or whatever they want to label it has a Virgo moon, right? I sent her a TikTok
Yeah.
about, it's kind of poking fun at the Virgo moon about them showing love through criticism because they can't look at themselves, right? She fucking
Mhm.
shared the shit with him. Like, The
I would've.
was
Yeah.
you, like, to a T, whatever, bitch. He was like, "I am not critical." Like, we just had a session last night, and she was recounting to me everything. He was like, "I am not critical." I mean, totally triggered, totally, like, he's like, "No, I just, like, want the best for people, and I'm just trying to show you. I'm just trying to show you, show you, show you." Repeated himself, like, 30 times, and I was like, "Bitch."
Yeah.
It is such a projection, and I feel like
Yeah,
this
that's a
is,
trigger.
like, what people are walking around doing, and
Yes.
I'm okay with that if you're the normal, like, Joe Schmo, but if you're a person who's doing work with people, you have to
Mhm.
fucking do better than that. You have
Absolutely, yeah.
to.
It's yes, yeah.
I
It
mean,
reminds me of a meme.
seriously.
There's a meme that I saw, and it was like, "The worst person you know just learned therapy words," and that's, like it's
Oh
chronic. It's
my
through our
god.
entire collective. Therapy words are dangerous now, like, everyone's using them,
You're
and they're,
very
like,
weaponized.
bypassing shit with therapy
Yes.
words.
Yes. That is so true, but, oh my god, I would love to see the meme itself because I bet it's so funny, but it's true. It's so true because, like, I remember even years, a bajillion years ago, a friend of mine was in, couples therapy, and she had a very good therapist, thankfully, who was, like, pro her and not husband because he was awful. Well, he learned a new term from therapy when, the therapist taught them, like, about not personalizing an experience. Like, their
Mhm.
shit's their shit, your shit's their shit. But, like, they use the word personalize. So then he begins to say, like, "Well, you're personalizing. Nope, you're personalizing. You
Mhm.
should be expressing feelings." This many years down the road and along this evolution, I would probably say something very similar. Like, well, while you have a right to own these feelings that you're having,
Mm.
it's also true that that wasn't about you. You know what I mean? But like the way he was using it was very weaponizing what the therapist had said. And I feel like that's kind of what we're getting. That's what we're getting. I mean, I
Yes.
do I'm glad that there's more of an awareness about so many things. But like, the word narcissist is probably overused at this point. I mean,
Yes.
I'm okay with saying narcissistic traits because, I mean,
Mm.
those are easy to identify, but you can't just walk around fucking willy nilly diagnosing people with narcissism, you know?
I swear everyone who talks about narcissists constantly, they're a narcissist themselves. Like, it's like
That's interesting because someone
textbook
else I know
projection.
put that on Threads not that long ago.
Mm. It's like if someone's really, really obsessed with it, that to me, that's that would like I operate out of this like general kind of psychology sphere. I operate with this idea that reality is a mirror of self, and wherever you're like really preoccupied, if you're hunting something down in other people and you're like trying to like protect yourself and you're aggressive
Yeah.
about it and you're like pointing it out in everyone else, man, that's you've at least got a whole bunch of the traits.
Yeah, and you know what was a really fun time for me? Realizing I had a lot of narcissistic traits. Like, I was
We
like,
all do.
"Damn,
It's
bitch."
yes.
I mean, I'm serious.
Yes.
I was literally like the shame I felt, not because I discovered how many traits I had, was the fact that I
Mm.
fucking didn't see it. I didn't see any of that shit about myself. Being called manipulative was one of the worst things you could have said to me because what?
Yeah.
Fuck yes, I was. Like, I'm really
Yeah.
comfortable talking about how I weaponized communication for my entire life until I realized that's what I was doing. But, like,
Mm.
because to me, I thought I was doing it for one reason because I was very unconscious of a lot of things. But damn it, it's so embarrassing sometimes. Like, I forgive myself for it, but there are times that I'm like, bitch, how blind could you have been? But I have so much compassion for that sweet version of me too, because I mean, I was really anything other than sweet, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this tender little baby who just was doing all these things to protect herself because
Yeah.
I couldn't see. Like, those
Yeah.
layers were there to protect me, and they did a very good job because if somebody
Absolutely.
had shown me that mirror too early, it would have been too soon. It all unfolded the way it was supposed to, but that does not mean I was
Yeah.
not a fucking raging psycho, 'cause I was. I
We can
was.
only Yeah, we can only do, like, the best with whatever level of consciousness we have at any given time, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's all about self-forgiveness, it's all about recognizing that whenever we're doing these things, manipulating or being a bit narcissistic or whatever, it's like, it's always coming out of a wounded inner child. Like, this is a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old that's just trying
Yes.
to get their needs met at the end of the day. So how
Yes.
can you not? I've never been able to not forgive myself for something. I'm just like, it's instantly, I'm like, this little girl who was drowning in emotion 30 years ago is just trying to get her needs met, and I get it, and I'm taking accountability, and I'm integrating and blah. Look, move on, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Um, I didn't realize I was having trouble forgiving myself. I was, like, stuck in the deep cringe until I
Mm,
literally looked, like, from the side at this previous version of myself, and I said, "Are you telling me she wouldn't have done exactly what you're doing if she had this information?"
yes.
Of course she would. So let it go.
Mhm,
And then I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's why I can talk about it all so openly because I'm like, "Psh, yeah, I fucking did that." And sometimes I still do stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I don't. I'm not perfect. And I'm getting really like intentional about making sure I talk about stupid shit or psycho shit I do still because I kind of thought that there would be a day where I would never do those dumb things again, and there's just not, and I'm gonna do some dumb things sometimes. So when I say I used to, I mean I used to every day and didn't even realize, whereas now I'm really good at figuring out when I did. Can I ask you, you alluded to this, and
mhm.
if this is not a topic that you want to touch on, I will totally respect that. But you alluded
I'm
to
always up for it.
pretty difficult relationships with your parents. W Are you
Oh,
do you
yeah.
mind getting into that? Like, what was so I mean, if you have 2 Virgo placements in your big 3, I know there was criticism, I know there was, um, well, pretty deep father wounds, like, almost like
You have no idea.
Asperger. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and
Well,
then a
okay,
mom
I'll start with
who
the
had weird
astrology.
programming.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I would say that my mom brainwashed me. Like I feel like and I my mom's probably the most difficult person for me to forgive in my
Really?
life, and it's not. Yeah, it's just it still feels so freaking personal. Like she cut me the deepest. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Um Not that she did anything that egregious, if you know what I mean, but it just still hurts.
Yeah.
She I would say she brainwashed me. She had this kind of moralistic, um, framework in mind, and she very much I was an extension of her. So she treated me like I was her own personal counselor when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Like, I
Yeah.
remember sitting in the car, she's telling me all of these crazy, like, adult
Yes.
hectic situations that are going on, and then if I ever had, like, an opinion or an input or any suggestion, she would eviscerate me, just completely
Mhm.
shred me to pieces because all she wanted to be was, like, validated, which I didn't. I mean, like, I assume I was just trying to, like, problem solve as a
And this was
five-year-old.
when I was about to
Um
say, I was like, "And this is when you were little, little, huh?" My grandma did is
Yeah,
your
like,
mom an air
young.
sign?
She's an Aquarius moon, she's a Pisces sun, I don't know
Oh,
about her rising.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Um So yeah, she was very much like her agenda was like to make me the kind of perfect being.
Yes.
Like I don't know, like
Well, because
at
she
one
must
point I
not have
wanted
had
to
an
do a
identity
lemonade stand.
outside of you because you were the only way she could like, you were supposed to provide all the evidence that she had done enough.
Maybe. I don't fully know. I mean, like I feel like her identity was probably pretty shredded as well. So she and I both have Chiron conjunct our suns, and that to
Oh,
me is like
shit.
father wounds, we've got identity wounds, we've got all kinds of stuff. She's got Saturn conjunct her sun as well, which is like, oh my God. I literally I looked at her birth chart once and I was like, it's like you were born to suffer. Like, and
No
she was like,
shit.
yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like, "I
Yeah.
suffer so seen. My life is the worst. Thank
Genuinely.
you."
Genuinely. It's the first time that she's ever felt, like, fully seen by me, I think, when I was just like, "You were born to suffer," and she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, we're still in victim mode too."
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. You're like, "God da never mind."
yeah,
You're like, "That
yeah,
I should have
yeah.
told you. You don't get what I mean, bitch."
Precisely. Yeah, so and then on top like, dad was around, like, he was, present my whole life, but he wasn't present. Like, again, they're
Very
both
unavailable. Yeah.
Pisces suns, like,
Mm.
just in their own complete worlds. I've felt like a ghost, like, as a child, I was a ghost. If I wasn't a ghost, then I was being, like, targeted and attacked in some
Were you an
capacity,
only
and
child?
dad was just like no, I had a brother 4 years younger have a brother 4 years
Ah,
younger.
okay.
Um, but I was, like they broke up when I was 8, like, right at the end of when you kinda
Mm,
come out of, like, programming mode, and my brother probably
mhm.
doesn't remember, them being together, but I remember a lot of it. Yeah, dad was just very like, dad's super Jupiterian. He was just, like, off on his adventures, like, worked 6 days a week. On the 7th, he'd be down doing this other business that they had, like,
Yep.
just gone kind of thing, like, there but not there. Um yeah, I mean, that's kinda like the Cliff's Notes. I'm so open to,
Yeah.
like if you wanna dig, please dig. I'm an open book.
Well, I mean, that gives me a lot. I mean, especially, like, if your mom's got an Aquarius moon, she had a very emotionally unavailable mom too. I mean, how old are your parents?
So, now my dad's in his early 80s. He was 47 when I was born,
Okay, so you
and
were raised by
mum,
boomers.
she's tw Yeah, yeah, so mum's, like, right on the border of Gen X and boomer, and dad's right on the border of boomer and silent generation. Like,
Yep.
it was like
So we were
growing up
raised
with
by
a
the same fucking
granddad for a dad.
people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean, because
yeah,
my
there's
grandma
diversity.
primarily raised me, and she was born in 1940, and then
Mm,
my mom was born in 1962, so she and my dad are actually in this weird because we were looking up generations not too long ago, in this weird was it something like the forgotten? I might be making that up, but there's this weird but my parents were technically those elder Gen X's, but
mhm,
I swear to Christ, the older Gen X, like, because 'cause I'm a baby Gen X, like, I'm the last 3 months of Gen X, and then I'm an
mm,
elder millennial. Um,
mhm.
Fuck, dude, I can't even handle seeing those bitches on TikTok. They are so fucking mean. They are so fucking mean. And then, like, this is exactly why I have such an issue with boomers in public, the fucking entitlement. And then Gen X, which this is the way a lot of generational curses like this work, is that when you do this to your kid, they're even worse. Like they because those Gen X people, they don't even have some of the like softness that boomers had. Like boomers didn't have that much softness, but you know what I'm saying? Like and then that
Mhm,
you are to be seen and not heard bullshit that we were given is just unreal to me. Like, you are not
mm.
to bother my existence in any way. I mean, we can make jokes all day about like, and I don't know if this was your experience, but most of us who were raised by that generation really were forced to be outside all day because they just
Oh,
could not like have us in their energy. Like they were just like, you're too
y
much. Go.
right. No, well, like, I kinda grew up in a it was like a like, dad's shop was down below and our house was on top, and then it was just, like, the main street of the town, so I couldn't really be outside all day, but I was
Okay.
just left alone in the house, like, just alone all
Were you in
day.
charge of your brother
Well,
a lot?
at some points, yes. There was nannies, like, in and out, but I just r like, I spent so much time alone. I can't remember what I did. I feel like there's, like, still memories that I need to unlock,
Yeah.
but it was a very lonely kinda childhood.
Wow. So when
Mm.
did you start to become who you are now?
So I had a spiritual awakening when I was 30 years old. I
Okay.
was reading a comic book and it was like I'm reading this comic book and the main character's like ascending the Kabbalah, the mystic, the Jewish mystic tree of life. And she gets to a certain point and there's this double page spread of Babylon, like the red goddess, and I'm like crying all of a sudden. I'm like, why am I crying? Mind you, I was like full atheist, scientific materialist, didn't even read like sun signs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm crying and suddenly the whole universe like splits open is how I would describe it. Like, I look out the window, it's like a lightning bolt's hit my soul. I can see all the cogs and gears. Time's moving forwards and backwards. Everything's interlinked. Whatever you do in the future affects your past, so on and so forth. Like, it was crazy. And then it all just like closed. And I was like, what in the fuck was that? So
Yeah.
I just had to, like, I just went on like a crazy deep dive from that point. So it's been, I'm 34. So it's been 4 years, and I've just, like, at since then, like, I started investigating, like, ceremonial magic. I went through Damien Eccles, I got onto Jessa Reed, I went on to Bashar, but all of that time, like, the more that I integrated my trauma, which I kinda like, I kinda got pieces of shadow work externally, and
Mhm.
then as I integrated, it all kinda, like, came together
Mhm.
inside of me as well. Like, I would just kinda recall stuff or figure stuff out or whatever it was, and that's like, and I've just come to the end of this thing, and I'm, like, so passionate about it. And I don't know, I did years of hermitude and years of, like, in all the inner work. I just, like,
Yeah.
sped run it, basically. Not that I don't have, still more to do, but I've just
Sure,
come
sure.
out the other side and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"I'm ready, like, let's
Yeah.
bring it on."
That's so
Um,
funny because really, like,
that
our shit really started shifting around the same time. I wouldn't call I would say my like full-blown spiritual awakening was about 2 years after yours, but
mm,
things were definitely shifting in that direction around the time you had yours because I was
yeah.
much more open. I think it was the beginning of at least when I started to feel like astrology was more than just a description and more like fate, that it was a
Mhm.
blueprint. Not that you can't like
Yeah.
free will your way out of some shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like that it was a blueprint that you could know so much about yourself and have an idea of how to navigate this fucking life just from
Mhm.
looking at that. And because I started getting more and more into astrology, some of the shit I was hearing from the spiritual community, because I went to see a medium. The first time I went to a medium was around 4 years ago. And it was so impactful to me. But it was very triggering also because he was saying things like, "You chose this experience, you choose your parents, whatever." I wasn't there yet, and I that didn't resonate with me, and I was not happy, but I was also open. I remember
Yeah.
very consciously, which this was not like an ability I had at that time, just in my everyday life, but I remember thinking, okay, we're gonna file that one away and we're just gonna keep going on and be open to that, but that does not resonate. But I was so just like feeling the communication between my parents who like I missed so much because it had been so many years and I really just wanted to know if they were proud of me. But that
Mm.
was so meaningful that I was willing to overlook that shit. But then as I got more into astrology, I remember going back to some of the things he taught me and being like, oh, you do choose your okay. I see why you said that. I'm glad I didn't, like, cuss at you when you said that because like, now I believe it, but yeah, and I had kind of swung from very religious Christian to nothing, when we die, nothing happens, blah, 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 and was very resistant to anything other than that until astrology. Like, I was familiar with
Mm.
astrology before, but, like, as I started to learn all of my placements, I was like, "Damn." And I like it. It's so much easier to have a faith in something bigger than me, just from my understanding of spirituality. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Gateway drug.
Isn't that the fucking truth? That's so true. But I mean,
Mm.
man, those boomers, they can fuck you up. That's for sure. I know, I really just picture you just so sad at home. It's just, I hate that for you because it is
I
very
was a
lonely when
yeah.
you're criticized to death because you just learn to walk on eggshells.
Absolutely, yeah, and
And
I
being the
spent,
emotional
like, pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
Huh?
And being that emotional support, I was also used as an emotional support dummy, and it was like, "God damn, dude." And then, like, did your parents I know you're 4 years older, but
Mm.
your mom particularly, did she do the fucking thing where she compared you and your brother to, like, a detriment where to, like, your detriment, like, where you were the bad guy in that scenario?
Ooh, that's tough. Like, it definitely feels like she does now.
Uh,
So I imagine that she did then, but I don't know if it was very vocalized. Like, it was probably just like an internal thing at the time,
okay,
potentially.
because that was something I really experienced
Mm,
with my grandma, was a lot of comparison, not just with me and my brother, with me and my aunts, me and whoever, but, like, my little brother, who she had a very codependent and enmeshed relationship with, he needed her in a way that I never did. I needed her, but then the older I got, the more I just put barriers between us because you're mean, bitch. Um,
yeah.
but it was things like telling me I wasn't as good of a person as him, um, and that he was more giving, more loving, more whatever because I had boundaries. And then but she would
Mm,
come to me with their because codependent enmeshed, he's living with her as an adult and doing really fucked up shit. She's using me as the emotional support dummy, and so I'm getting pissed because I don't have the tools for this, like, I didn't have the capacity to even understand what to do in those situations. So I'm like, God, that motherfucker. And then now I'm the bad guy because I'm mad at my brother.
mhm,
What? Well, he
mm.
fucking stole money from you. So, like, what?
Yeah, it's striking, like, that you had such good boundaries, though. Like, do you feel like they diminished to nothing, or did you manage to keep that kind of fiery, like, boundary energy?
Yeah, I think like they got better and better. I don't think they began as like a healthy boundary. I think it
Mm,
began as a fortress because when my
mhm,
dad died, I think I told you my dad died of an overdose, and it was like through IV drug use. Um
mm,
and he died in like a restaurant bathroom, and she made jokes about it. And so it was like
mm,
immediately, and she hated him my whole life. Like I knew that from like 3 years old. She told me
right.
every bad thing he ever did to my mom, shit like that. But, I knew, like, she just wasn't safe to talk to about my grief, and she also that was another way she'd compare us is like, "Well, you took it the best out of all of you guys," because I wasn't, like, doing the shit my brothers were doing in response to their grief. They were living their pain very loudly, and I was doing what I've always done, which is pretend to be fine and be a people pleaser, like, I'm still gonna be
Yeah.
perfect for you because that's my role on this earth. And I truly believed that. Like, I was like, "No, I have to be the one good kid she has out of the 5 she raised of her own and then us 3." So,
Mm,
she was just it was so cruel the way she would come at me with that shit. And in hindsight, I really don't think she knew what she was doing. I think she was just a really fucking wounded person. But at the time, it
yeah.
targeted, and I was like, "Damn, bitch." So I started that wall between us in adolescence. Even before he died, I didn't come by Nirvana until after Kurt Cobain died, and it was because
Mhm,
that summer, back when MTV played music videos, I stayed the night at a friend's house a lot over that summer, and we would watch, like, Nirvana videos all day, and
mm,
alternative music just was, like, my shit, right? And, she just was so fucking mean to me about it, like, that was not allowed in our house, like, rock music, like, "What are you listening to? You're a bad person," whatever. That was really the beginning, and then my dad died, and I was like, "You are so unsafe for me." And so that was kind of the beginning of my fortress between me and her, but I was still trying very hard to please her, but the older I got, the more I was able to see, like, there really isn't anything I can do to please you. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what
yeah.
I get a degree, you call it a piece of paper, and you tell me I think I'm better than you. I
Mhm,
I marry somebody. I mean, we're not married anymore, but I marry someone very, like, sweet and loving and whatever, hard worker, like, all the things that you would have valued in anyone else, and you find a way to criticize me and say, "Well, you wouldn't have anything you have if it wasn't for him," and I'm like, "Can we acknowledge that I made a good choice, that I didn't marry
mm,
a man that you married or that my mother fucking married? Can we acknowledge that
Yeah.
I'm not repeating that cycle of getting, like, domestic violence in my history, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
That to me was, like, a
Yeah.
huge deal. Like, he may have hey, he had his own share of issues, as did I. My god, I was a horrible wife without even realizing it, but, like, that doesn't mean that I didn't make a really good choice for me at that point. I was fucking 18 years old when I met him, but it was like she just
Mhm.
diminished any accomplishment ever. Like,
Yeah.
didn't even really acknowledge when I got my master's. She made a pretty big deal out of my bachelor's because I'm the first person out of my entire mom's side to go to college, and not very many people after me have even gone. Like, I know I have an aunt who I can't stand that graduated from nursing school, but I don't know that anybody else has yet, like, honestly, because that's just
Mm.
the family that I had. Um, but, like, she just diminished all of it because she couldn't handle the way it triggered her, I guess.
Yeah, it speaks to a lot of insecurity and really poor methods of attempting to control to keep
Yes,
whatever
that she
stability she
wanted
was
the
getting from
control.
that
Mhm.
codependency. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And actually, I'll credit her for why I fucking married that guy because when I was leaving the house, because I moved out I turned 18 in June and I moved out at the end of August. She didn't want me to, and she was very, "You'll be back. You'll be back."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, bitch. You
Yep.
just made sure I will never be back because hell
Mhm.
no, am I gonna prove you right." So then, met this dude, finances would be better if I lived with him, so I did, and then now I've lost my virginity to him, and you told me I had to marry him because I lost my virginity, so, you know, here we
Yeah.
are. I mean, I'm
Isn't it
fine with
funny how our shadows always manifest the worst case scenario? Like, we always manifest what we're trying to avoid through our shadow.
It's so true. That's such a good way to put it. Because yes, why did I do all of this dumb
Mhm.
shit? But I don't even care because I it was just so needed and part of what got me here, you know? But it was
Mm.
hard when she died because, first of all, she had created some pretty fucked up dynamics in our family. And so fighting with aunts and whatever about end of life care was just some bullshit. And then also, we had never tended to any of those things. Not because I didn't try, but I was shut
Mm.
down and told, like, people don't you don't need to tell me I hurt your feelings. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mm.
or I know, I guess I'm just the worst. Like typical, like, manipulative shit. And I'm like, well, you kind of are the fucking
Yeah.
worst. But anyway, that was a really long-winded answer. But yes, my boundaries got firmer and then I became the black sheep of the family because of them.
Right, yeah. And I feel like that's a really important process for all us cycle breakers is like you realize you can't win, and then you're just like, well, I guess I have to go my own way then because like there's just nothing for me here. Like even if I jump hoops, it's still never good enough. So I might as well go do something that makes me happy, makes me feel good.
Yeah, I think when you realize that no matter how hard you try, you're not going to get the thing you've been searching for your entire fucking life, you cut that
Mm.
off because you're tired of the toxicity. And then you go through the thing where you still don't realize it was you needed all along. You needed to come home to
Yes.
you and find you
Yeah.
and whatever. And then you get whatever awakening happens that shows you that. I feel like that's kind of the pattern for the people who break the cycles.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a journey back to self ultimately, which is
Yes.
just, I mean, I really feel like this this earth school, whatever you want to call it, is a process of just transformation, but we just do it in such a hard, like polarized way that it hurts that much. And you have to kind of do it incrementally a little bit. Like you can't get all of the wounds and all the beliefs that you get, fed in childhood and then just let them all go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just step out at 18 or whatever and just be like, oh, I guess I'm just like allowed to be me now. Like it just doesn't work like that. You have to really integrate it piece by piece.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful that the information's out there. Like People are gonna come
Mm.
across your TikToks, they'll come across my shit. Like, we're putting it out there in such large scale now, whereas, like, when I was a teenager, I didn't even fucking know about trauma. People weren't talking about trauma until the late '90s and only about veterans. So, like, I'm
Yeah.
still having people who ask me what complex trauma is, and I'm like, "Oh, damn,
Mhm.
okay, good, I'm glad you're asking because I wanna provide education around that." Like, PTSD is very different whenever it was a short time or a one-time event than when every
Mm.
fucking day of your childhood was absolutely fucking miserable, and I mean that.
Absolutely.
Every fucking day. There wasn't a good day
Mhm.
from birth to 18. So, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. Like, it fucks you up in ways that takes a long time to unpack. I just giggle at myself, though, that at 18, I was like, "Oh, no, I guess it just really didn't affect me." Just, because I
Yeah.
wasn't, like, a drug
Yeah.
addict or, I didn't have a kid at 14, like, I'm just thinking of the things that, like, my family had done, and I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess I just did
Mm.
better than they did, I don't know. I'm doing alright." Meanwhile, I'm over here being the most insecure, jealous psycho wife ever, like, I mean, oh my god, I was awful. I was fucking awful to that man. Like, I'd be like it was weird because I was repeating shit I saw my mom do, and I remember thinking like, "Man, you're a fucking psycho." But then whenever I did it, oh, the shame, because I remembered that logical me thought she was a psycho for doing it, and here I am doing it, and I'm like, "Why are you looking in the rearview mirror so much? Who are you looking at?" Do you understand how many times I have messaged my ex-husband to say, "I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was such a bad wife. I'm so sorry. I put
How h
so much hell."
h how's he responded to it? How's he responded to it? Has
He's
he
really
taken it
sweet. He's
well?
always like, "Hey, listen, I wasn't any better than you were. My issues were different, but, like, I had my own shit." But I'm like, "I was not a nice wife. I was so awful." But it really was
Yeah.
just this deep rooted insecurity. I mean, because Chiron's in my 2nd house,
Yeah.
and so, like, oh my god,
Oh,
it was bad. It was just
self-worth.
yes,
Mm.
and I had none, and that's been the beautiful part, though, like, that's been the part to discover and to really cultivate because I can definitely see where it was oh my god, me, it was so I have so many embarrassing stories like that, like, you were looking at her and blah, blah, blah. I could never get mad about something like that now, but, like, oh, this ruled our existence when we were married, like, ruled it.
Yeah. It
It's
makes
weird.
sense, it makes sense. If he was your if he was your security and you're just, like, looking for any way that that security might disappear and try and shoot it down ahead of time, like,
Oh, yeah,
this is
hypervigilance,
what
you
we
want
do.
oh, it was bad, and I can think of I mean, that's the reason too, like, I was such a like, a paranoid mom, like, even
Mm,
I went to this little festival, a little Greek festival. My boys are Greek, their dad is Greek, and, so I've tried to make it a practice to go to this most years because it's fun and I like them to be around. In fact, their family members ran part of it for years, but anyway, so we went the other
mm.
day. I sat in the back seat with my daughter, and I let, like, my oldest sit up front with my husband, and we're just chilling. She pulled a Jolly Rancher out, and I was like 'cause hard candy I fucking hate when my kids have hard candy in their mouth because 'cause I'm like, "You might choke and die." I have a huge choking phobia, okay? She's telling me about the other day how she put, like, 5 in her mouth at one time, and her tongue was raw from it and whatever, and I was, like, having heart palpitations from this shit because I'm, like, just hearing that she had all this hard candy in her mouth. And I started like, I got lost in thought about this, about, like, all the because I wouldn't oh my god. For so many years, I would not let my children eat, like, a corn dog or hot dog, like, unless the hot dog was, like, cut up, but you're not gonna cut up a corn dog because there goes the benefit of the corn dog, right? I was a psycho
Mhm.
about this, and then one time, my husband did have to give my youngest son the Heimlich over a fucking hot dog, and I was like, "See? I told you. I fucking told you." But, like, I remember thinking it was perfectly rational to be like, "There are only a few ways that you can prevent death in children, and I'm gonna prevent those things. Like, they're gonna be buckled up to
Mhm.
the max. That's not a bad thing, sue me. They're still everyone who rides in my car is required to be safe in the car. Grown-ups, whoever, like, "Put your seatbelt on, we're not driving without it." But then some of the other things, like, we were giggling about how when my daughter was little, I'd be like, "You can have that, but you cannot put the whole thing in your mouth." She'd have a little lifesaver being like, because I wouldn't let her put it in her fucking mouth. But that is a
The
form of
poor thing, the tiny
hypervigilance.
lollipop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. We would
Absolutely.
die laughing at all the dumb
Have
shit
you
we've done.
have you worked through it now? I'm curious.
Mostly, I don't worked through it to where I'm not still afraid. Some, probably not, but, like, I will remove myself from a situation. Like, if she's got a Jolly Rancher in her mouth and it's starting to get to me, I'll just walk into another room because I don't
Mhm.
want to, like, communicate any of it anymore, but the fear is probably still there.
Do you also get paranoid when you put stuff like that in your mouth, or is it just for your kids?
There's a slight paranoia when I do too, but I have this huge choking thing to where, I almost choke on every meal. I don't, but, like, it feels like I'm choking a lot. So my little brother did choke when we were growing up, and my grandma did not do the Heimlich. She reached in, it was just, like, trying to get it out. I remember there being a lot of blood and some nastiness. It was very traumatic. I was, like, 5 and he was 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. Um, so then that stuck with me, but so I'll be eating and I just eat really fast with my little Aries rising ass. And then if too big of a chunk goes down, I'll feel like I'm choking. I'm not actually most of the time, it's not going to choke me, but at least once a day, something makes me so uncomfortable that I'll go to just get it all out. So
Right.
I have a weird choking thing. Yeah.
That's intense, yeah.
It
And it's
is.
stemming from it feels like fear, but it's also, like, disgust, like a kind of ick, but fear, like, at the core?
Very. I'm like this around
Mm.
water too. I'm not as bad. I
What
do
do you
feel like
mean?
I've worked through my water stuff. Well, and I remember asking my grandma, um, I was like, did I have a near drowning as a child? Because I have an intense fear of drowning. She's like, "Oh yeah, you did actually." I was like, "Oh, cool. Okay, great, glad." So I guess I wandered away from my parents when I was like 1 and walked into a lake and almost drowned. So that's fun.
Wow.
Yeah. They were so smart. But yeah, so I had a really weird water thing. I did okay. Like when I knew that they knew how to swim, I did fine. Like, but I also just went to the beach for the first time in my life at 44 last year. Cause well, I was really sure I would be eaten by a shark. So
Oh.
yes, but that's
It
because of Jaws. Most of my
yeah, I
people
get that.
had the shark trauma. But, I did let everybody get into the ocean. I was really proud of myself. I was like, Go enjoy the ocean." That was a big deal because I had never let them go either. I was like, "No, you will not go to the ocean as long as I'm alive. No." And that was a
Because sharks.
Yes, V, you have to
I
see
get it, like,
them
I
from the
had the same
start.
shark fear from Jaws, yeah, totally, totally, like, I would get scared in public swimming pools when I was a child, but,
Yes. Couldn't convince
yeah.
me. Mhm. But, like, water I did not worry about the water, like I said, once they could swim really well, but
Yeah.
I still, if we're at a pool, let's say there's a pool park, because we used to have a pool in our old house, and we would have people over, I had no fun because I sat and counted heads the entire time, like I was a lifeguard from one direction to the other, because 'cause you're not drowning on my fucking watch, like, period, and
Yeah.
then I learned that people don't they're not afraid, and they need to be afraid more than they were sending their children down these slides when they couldn't swim and shit, and I was like, "The fuck? Why are a little fear is healthy. Come on now, you got to, like, make sure the baby can swim, what the fuck?" So, I just learned, like, don't depend on anyone else, we just gotta make sure nobody's drowning. I mean, I'm just miserable, like, no fun at all.
Mhm.
But that was me for everything.
Yeah.
Like, fear drove my life in one way or
Yeah,
another.
it seems like
That was real fun to
I
be
have
around.
a great key for fear. Yeah.
Yeah?
If you like, whenever you feel fear, right, go back to the original memory and then scream it out like you're being murdered, like Hollywood movie theater scream, actually scream it out from back whatever happened that
Yeah.
planted that fear, and you might actually process more of it out because it
Mm.
sounds like you're not really having fun at the beach.
Yeah, no, I did have fun at the beach because I was really high, but, um no, I did, I was really high. But, but when I had a pool, I did not have fun. I'm
Yeah,
really the tools I have now to envision better, because that's the thing is I would just sit and picture the worst case scenario at all times. Just
yeah,
catastrophic thinking,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So I've
I've
learned
done
to
that my whole
counteract with
life,
that a
yeah.
lot. It's
Mm.
real. It's a very real byproduct of trauma because that's what our brain does.
Yours is
So
very
it's
physical.
literally yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very physical. It's
Mhm.
surprising. Mine's all centered around, like, community and reactions and, like, how people are gonna perceive me and take me in. Like, my Chiron is conjunct my Sun, which is also conjunct my South Node in the 11th house. So
Oh.
it's like, I have, like, a past life in which I was killed
Mm.
for being a witch. I know it's cliche. I said it was cliche when the psychic told me, but I had a memory recall of it. And so I've just been paranoid about basically being killed for being myself in all community at all times. Like it's been massive for me to come out into the world and be like, here I am, I'm on social media, here's my opinions, here's who I am. Like
Yeah.
this is monumental for me as a 5 planets in the 12th house and Sun conjunct Chiron in the 11th. Like my whole chart is like, don't be seen. Don't be seen. You'll be killed.
Yeah. I had some real visibility wounds, but not in that way. Like it is
Mm,
very it's there, but it is very different. My fears were very something could happen. Like, but I think also
mhm.
I've had a lot of loss. So I think
Yeah.
that really influenced because I learned very young people die, you know? And
Mm.
I wonder too how much loss I had in past lives. But yeah, I think I've just been really afraid of losing people I love. I don't live in fear like that anymore, but
Mm.
it was very much the center of my life for a lot of years. Well, all of the
Yeah.
years
Makes
until
it
a
makes
couple years
sense.
ago.
Mm. It did like, when you first mentioned the choking thing, I pinged on past lives as well. For some
Really?
reason, I reckon there's some stuff. Yeah.
I
I don't know
know,
what it
I
is, but I
really
was just
love
like,
to know because the more I'm understanding what I'm kind of here for now, or at least what experience was curated, the more I'm like, what happened? Because
yeah.
some of this is so visceral. And yes, you could even take away the woo and you see like the trauma I've experienced, but it's other
Very intense.
yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful at this point to not be imprisoned by it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like, I feel like past life trauma is always planted into this life. Like, there's always some kind of like event or memory or pattern that like resonates with that past life stuff, but what makes it so intense is like the soul memory of like the other lives, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. I would really love because the only time I've ever had anyone talk to me about my past lives was this fucking weirdo who was just trying to be really, like, inflammatory and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, quirky about everything, and every fucking thing she said was like, "You were a salamander, and, you were a salamander king." I was like, "Bitch." Get up out of here with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was so annoying to me because none of it felt sincere, and it felt like she actually knew what she was talking about, but she wasn't saying real shit. Maybe she sensed
Oh,
my hesitance to the whole experience and was just fucking with me because she was in a mood, but, she certainly knew shit because she knew which areas of my body had pain. Like,
yeah.
because it was supposed to be like some healing session, which I only did kind of as a joke because my friend we showed up at a psychic place because I wanted to see a psychic. It was my first time to ever see one, and,
Mm.
that was a very good experience, but then she also signed me up for this fucking weird ass healing thing, and I was like, "Okay, I guess." And I was just going with the flow, but I didn't necessarily believe whatever she was gonna say even before I walked in the
Yeah.
room, so maybe she picked up on that and she was just being a bitch, but when she was doing the energy work, she definitely could pick up on where things were stuck and things like that and where I was carrying pain, but everything she said was stupid.
I feel like anything kind of like psychic or medium or whatever, anything we see in like the third eye and stuff, there we kind of interpret it through our own lens. So
Mhm.
she like energy in terms of like clicking into the body, it's like real easy because you're basically just like mapping like one for one. But then whenever it comes to like actually tapping into psychic stuff, it's always got a different flavor for each person, you know? Like, I've had psychic readings and I'm like, "Yeah, you're kinda, like, around the area, but these specifics, it's weird."
Mhm. I had a psychic on not that long ago, and, I asked about a past life with my mom, and,
Mm,
she was so fun, and she was like, "Yeah," she's like, "I'm actually seeing, like, maybe you were sisters in a life, and you were kinda posh, and you're playing tennis," and I was like, "I wonder if that's why a couple years ago I started getting really into pickleball," and she was
mm,
like, "Oh, that would make sense actually," but it was I'm gonna choose to believe it because it's fun to think that, you know what I mean? But, like,
absolutely.
Salamander King, bitch, that does I don't
I kinda get it, you're very fiery.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yes.
Salamanders are all fire. Like, they're the
Really?
epitome of the fire element. Yeah, that's why they're all over on the tarot cards.
Oh, that makes
Like the
sense.
king
Yeah,
of the king
I
of
don't
wands and
know. A
stuff.
salamander? I don't connect with that. Maybe it's
Well, do
true,
you feel
but,
any resonance with the Syrians?
um, I don't know what that
Like
means.
oh, you don't oh, it's like a one of those, like, starseed alien race things?
Oh, I haven't
You
heard of
obviously don't get
this.
into that? There you
Yeah.
go. Well, the salamanders are supposedly closely linked with the Syrians, but I
I'm
don't
gonna have to
delve too
Google
deeply
this.
into it, I've just seen some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google this. Yeah, I don't know,
Look up Syrian starseed.
because there was a couple things that she was like, "Yeah, your leg got amputated right here in battle, and then your next life was this, and your arm got cut off," and I'm like, "Maybe, but I don't like that, so"
Well, so the universe is infinite after all, so there is technically every single past life, like all of these past lives are like just happening, everything's happening all at once. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it really is just like whatever your soul resonates with in the moment. And if someone tells you that you have a past life doing X, Y, and Z, it is literally a take it or leave it kind of thing. It's like, do you connect with it or do you not?
Yeah, and it was weird because I connected with the energy of what she was saying for sure. Like, I don't know if that
Mm.
makes sense, like, but I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
I mean, I definitely have led nations, I'll believe that. Like, yeah, I could see that because still, I think that's the part of me that I bring into every experience is this ability
Hmm.
to be a cult leader because
You and
I
me both.
yeah, like, literally. That is that is my magic in every lifetime, I'm very sure. But,
Hmm.
like and I am sure that there was times that I used that not for good. But see, like, I'm an Aquarius South node, so there's no fucking way I
Uh-huh.
was leading nations. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm. Well, I'm an 11th house south node, so same diff. And mind you, I sit was like right before we started this podcast, I was sitting down and I was like, why do I feel guilty for taking on leadership roles? Why do I feel ashamed and guilty for like speaking to slash for the collective and then they place me in a position of like leadership or power? Like I feel like just started tapping into some kind of past life that's preventing me from stepping more into a leadership role. So we've done the thing again. We've done the parallel thing again.
So then
The
your North Node is
synchronicity.
5th house?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
Conjunct to Neptune.
Yeah, so
Really?
mine's 5th house Leo, um,
Oof.
very close to my moon, if I'm remembering correctly.
We need to just swap details, I think. We
Yes,
need to swap
please.
chart details.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
We'll
Okay, I
just
have to wrap
we'll
up
just dig
because I
in.
have a client, but
Mhm.
is there anything you'd like to leave our audience with today?
Uh, come to my TikTok.
I've been
Come follow
enjoying your
me, come look at
TikTok.
what I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you. I try really hard.
I was
For
like, "Oh my
someone
god,
who's
she said
never liked
me. She
social
said my
media.
friend Melissa. That's me."
I did.
I was
Yep.
like
I had to mention you. Do
and then
some
I was
name
like,
dropping.
"I don't
I'm
wanna
trying
be
to do the
douchey and comment." Like,
do it.
well, if I had
Be
a
douchey.
meaningful comment to come with, I would have, but I was just fangirling and being like, "Oh my god, that's me." Like, so I was like, "Well, I don't have anything meaningful to say, so I don't wanna be a douche."
I am constantly dropping emojis in people's comments just to boost the algorithm for people. Like I'm just like
Yeah, I
I
need to do that.
spam
I mean, I
emojis for
do,
everyone.
and I should have. I was, like, feeling insecure or something. I don't know. Like, I was like,
Fair enough.
"Then she's gonna think I'm doing blah, blah, blah," and I overthought it. So, yeah, I'm a commenter usually, so I'll boost your videos more. I'm sorry.
Yes, comment. It's fine. We'll start exchanging comments, I think.
Okay, good. That sounds good. Well, thank you for coming back. Both your episodes are gonna air, like, back to back because I haven't recorded with anyone since our last recording. So I might just be like,
Nice.
part
When's
1, part 2. Just a
do it.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Had so
Well,
many cancellations that it'll only be a couple weeks from now that it airs.
oh, I'm really glad about that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
So, yeah, they'll be
Awesome.
back to back.
Yay. I'm looking forward to all the reels and stuff. I'm gonna cross post and do all the tech stuff that I really suck at.
Well, I'll get you all the links and stuff to them, like and also, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna add you as collaborator on Instagram, but I'll send you links to each thing too.
Fantastic. My Instagram is an absolute dead zone, but yeah,
Well,
TikTok.
but if one person from your audience discovers my podcast, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I got
True.
a lot of
Fair enough.
the person that I, uh, posted yesterday, her audience, like, is awesome because 'cause I've gotten, like, 3 followers from that.
Oh, that's great.
That never
What are
happened.
you at?
What do you mean?
What's your following?
Oh, not
Do you have
much, like
oh,
500
that's a lot.
on Instagram?
I don't even have that many. Yeah. Or
Oh.
on on the podcast itself,
Oh,
on
on the
Spotify or
podcast?
whatever.
Oh, I don't know how many followers, but I get about 600 or so downloads a month.
Frick yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. There was a couple months where I got like 1,200.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's growing. It's getting there.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it? Sorry, you
Since
probably have to
April of 24.
that's great.
Yeah.
It's been what, just over a year?
Yeah, about 18 months.
That's great.
Yeah. I hit 10,000 downloads, I think, in June.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Like, at first I was comparing myself to other people, like, higher than me. And I saw someone post on Threads that it took them a year to get 1,000, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh, well, then I feel really good about mine."
Yeah. Yeah. It's I am chronically I do the same thing, compare myself to, the people at the tippity top. I'm like, "Where's Aubrey Marcus at? Why am I not there yet? It's been 2 weeks."
Why am I not Glennon Doyle? Because I'm smart, so hello.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to trust the universe. I try to let go.
Yes.
My Virgo wants to cling, but I try to let go.
That's been my little path too, is learning to let go.
Yeah.
But I'm loving like, now that I'm sitting in gratitude, like, damn, my podcast is good for someone who just fucking literally just one day started recording and put it out. Like, fuck yeah, dude. We've had a little
Yeah.
evolution and it's going really well.
Yep. And you're
Okay,
helping all the people that need to be helped.
absolutely. Well, thank you. I had such a good time. I hope you get some rest.
Thank you. I'll send you my details. Send me yours.
Okay,
We'll
sounds good.
dig.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Oh. Thanks for coming to Emotionally Unavailable. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share.